Welcome to the fire. Maxim, that was really delicious.
Hey, nothing too special, just simple recipe.
No, seriously, Maxim. This is so good. I mean, thank God we have you here to cook. Frost would probably just say we could live off, rainwater and repressed anger.
Garrick, if that was the case, I'm afraid that you would starve. I don't know that you're capable of repressing anything at all.
You know, my apologies for ever expressing any emotion whatsoever.
Apology accepted, dear friend.
No, that's not what I meant.
How about a drink, fellas? I believe it's my turn for story time, yes?
A drink would certainly make this more tolerable.
There are few things that a strong drink can't.
Now that's the spirit. Now, I am not too good at telling stories, so go easy on me, eh?
Maxim, everyone has to start somewhere. You're among friends. Take a sip and relax. That was a big sip, friend.
How can I take a big sip? Look at the cup, it's far too small.
Somehow I doubt there is a big enough cup in the world for you.
Oh, I can assure you that there isn't.
Okay. Fun times. Now, gather round. I will tell you a ghost story for my town. I never thought much of it, but my daughter didn't sleep for almost a week after she heard it, so you best be ready.
Ghost stories around the fire. You know, sometimes I almost forget why we're out here. It feels more like a long hunting trip than actually being on the run.
The world is a big place, Carrick. If you're fast enough, running is more hiding than anything else, and that is our goal. They could change horses in every town, but we don't have that luxury. In a foot race, we could never win. But out here, we can keep it from them forever.
It won't be forever, though, right? Eventually something will change and we'll be able to go home.
I think now would be a good time for that story, Maxim.
On the eastern coast of Kelbrook, a day or two's ride from Varhelm, sits the town of Jordua. It is a smaller village, but they have a blacksmith.
The story, Maxim.
Oh, yes, of course, sorry about that. Anyways, Jordua has been around for a very long time. It was built as a living quarters for the families of the Watchers. They were a group dedicated to fighting all kinds of unsavory things, and the Black Spruce Forest just north of the town supposedly was home to a number of them. It is well known in the village that you do not go into the Black Spruce Forest at night, and never unarmed. Over time, the Watchers left. Whether it was because the forest became tame, or they had somewhere more important to be, no one knows. Over a couple of decades, people decided the stories about the forest were just that. Stories.
A common mistake.
Aye, and a fatal one at that, I'm afraid. A group of woodcutters ignored their elders' warnings and sought to find a tidy profit in the thicker logs further back. One could even see the trees from outside the forest. They were as thick as a castle spire and almost as tall. So they set out one morning after kissing their mother goodbye.
Well, at least they got a proper goodbye in before leaving.
I'm afraid this is not the last she saw of them. I wish that were the case. 3 days passed, and they heard nothing from the boys. But they had brought enough food, and maybe they were looking for the right tree. It wasn't until a week had passed that the search party was organized. This was a few years before I moved in, so I only know what I've heard, and even that was tough to stomach. I will leave out the nastier bits for you.
Oh, come on. As if we would need you to mince your words. Just tell us the story.
Let the man tell the story how he wants. Some things are better left unsaid. And that is to the benefit of the speaker as well as the listener.
The search party moved into the forest at dawn and followed the boys' trail. It was midday when they reached the edge of the outer woods and moved on into the thicker trees. After less than 10 minutes, they found a clearing. It was wide and had a small circle of tall stones in it, about the height of a man, and their surface sparkled and reflected anything before it like glass. At the base of the stones were the 3 woodcutters' bodies. One with an axe stuck in his skull, another with an axe in his gut, and the third beheaded. The axes were those they brought with them. At first, the people thought they had too much to drink and cut each other to ribbons over a dumb fight. But the blood splatters around the clearing painted a different picture. Behind each man's body were 3 thin lines where the splatter was blocked by a cord or thin rope, and on top of that was the shape of what was described to me as a demon. A crooked back and long horns, vicious claws and a thick tail. The 3 lines led right to where the hand would be, as if the demon had been holding the men up. At that sight, the search party left the bodies and returned, saying that the demons had killed them and that they belonged to the forest now. Only their mother remained to burn the bodies. They thought she would never return, but a day later, she stumbled back into town, covered in wounds and soaked in blood and something black and sticky. In one hand, she held 3 thick golden strings, frayed at the end as if torn. And in the other, she held one of those same axes, doused in that black liquid. Upon arriving, she collapsed and died soon after. But not before telling the first villager to reach her side. I got one, but the other 2 got away. You must never go there.
She got one and made it back. Not bad. But unfortunately, she didn't know to bring a mirror. The one time that vanity can save you.
So you would have been completely fine then, eh, Frost?
Of course.
Could you both please let me finish the story? We are here to tell the story, and every word said is a moment longer without drinking.
Sorry, Maxim. Please, continue.
As I was saying, the description matched one of the passages in our elder's book, left by the Watchers. The book called them the Naefdels, and said that they were the souls of murderers that refused to move on, and instead accepted the form of demons. They were tied to their tombstones, but controlled their victims with the threads of fate, and used them for entertainment. Their favorite source of entertainment being murder. To this day, none go past the outer woods. If the boys fell prey to harm less than a league past it, who knows what else could be out there?
Well, very interesting story. But I mean, come on, it's not like anything like that actually exists.
True enough, Carrick. Naefdels don't exist as described there.
No, Frost. Don't you even dare start with this shit again.
Oh, come now, Carrick. They aren't souls. They're just lower demons. Bound to this world, not by a tomb, mind you, but by any surface that catches their reflection. They aren't very smart. In this case, it was the rocks. In most, it's a mirror or, well, anything for that matter, a pool of water. The boys would have had to let them out, though. Probably promised them money, power, something like that.
What, so basically all you need is a shard of glass and a good heart to turn down their offers?
Well enough. You could also just put an axe through their head, as the woman did. They're slippery buggers, but not sturdy. You do have to let them attach the threads. It's probably why they appear golden.
I hadn't thought of that.
Frost, Just please tell me this is all a joke.
Carrick, are you really going to do this every time we talk about anything that involves magic? You know as well as I do that there are forces in this world that can't be explained by logic. You've seen them.
Look, it's not that I don't believe you. It's just that I don't want to. I mean, why would I want to live in a world like that?
I'm afraid that you don't have a choice. None of us do. We just have to live with it. Reality isn't easy, but hiding from it only lasts so long before it catches you.
Isn't that what we're doing here, though? Running and hiding from Miriam?
Well, not just Miriam, technically.
You're right. How could I forget? Everyone is our enemy. When will that reality catch us? Then we die, and they just take it anyways.
I don't know, Carrick. Hopefully, not for a long time. That's all I can say. Hi, I'm Finch, the creator of The Fire and the voice of Frost. On behalf of the whole crew, I want to say thank you for listening to episode 2, and being patient with our release schedule and the changes being made. Expect some minor changes in the next few episodes too. We really want to hone in on something special. On a better note, episode 3 should be out in a few weeks rather than in a couple of months. I also want to take this moment to thank my wife, Ryan, for guest starring in this episode. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and stay safe.